Hey Josh, this is Desiree. I was giving you a quick call. Looks like I think several months ago you guys had completed some documents just to protect the mortgage in the event of like a death or disability for you and Sarah. I was one of the state underwriters here that was assigned to your file. It looks like it's still open on our end. I just wanted to verify this information so we could close it out for you guys. It does look like your loan amount is about $773,000. Does that sound right? Okay, and I have your property address, the one. Is that also correct? Awesome. And then I see Sarah is obviously the co-borrower. Is that your spouse or a family member? Your wife. Awesome. And then I know it's been a few months, but just to make sure we're on the same page, this was the type of coverage if anything did happen to you. The mortgage is taken care of for both of you guys. Now, did anyone get this out to you guys or not yet? Okay, makes sense because we have been super backed up since the holidays. I'm here just kind of helping out. But as far as you and your wife, when are you typically home from work? Find me on there. And then I look forward to speaking with you guys tomorrow. So when you are stopped, just lock me into your calendar, okay? Alrighty. Okay, no problem. Drive safe. Talk to you tomorrow. All right, guys, you just saw live me booking an actual appointment. What we're going to be doing today is I'm going to teach you how to do just that times 10 times 100 just to set yourself up for success. Okay, so what we're going to be going over is the intro. So like I mentioned before, we are going to be booking way more appointments once you get on the phone. You're not really going to one call close. This is how I do my intro. Remember, the tone's going to be casual, curious. So I'll say, John. Hey, John, this is Desiree. Several months ago, it looks like you had completed some documents here just to protect your mortgage in the event of like a death or disability. Now, listen, I'm just the state underwriter that's assigned to your file because it's still open on my end. My job's just to verify some of this information with you, John, just to get it closed out, okay? I'm seeing your loan amount is about $300,000. Does that sound about right? Okay, great. And then the property address I do see here is 123 Main Street. Is that correct as well? Perfect. And then, John, I do see that there's no co-borrower on the file. Is that because you're single or your spouse just isn't on the loan? Right? And then he'll say he's single. And then if he has a spouse, you proceed on the script as you're reading. If single, you read that. And then if married, you read that. Right? And so let's just say he said he's single. I'll simply say, now, John, it typically takes us about 10 to 15 minutes to go over this information to get your file closed out. Are you working right now? And then if he says he's working, because remember, most of these people, they're working class, right? Or both them and their spouse work. So I'm just going to assume, instead of me asking, hey, are you working, retired, or disabled? I'm already assuming that they're working. So I'm going to go straight into it. I'll say, hey, John, so it typically takes us 10 to 15 minutes just to go over this information to get your file closed out. Are you working right now? He's going to say, yeah, I'm at work. Then I'm simply going to say, now, when are you typically home from work, John? I'm home at 5. When someone says they're home at 5 or whatever time, I say like, oh, perfect. Well, I don't really have a 5 o'clock, John. I do have a 5:30 or a 5:45, or I have a 5:30 or a 6. You're going to plug them in according to your schedule, but I never agree that I have a 5 o'clock or a 6 o'clock or whatever time they say, because you're making the assumption, you're letting them know that you're busy, because you are. We have back-to-back appointments. Sometimes I say that, hey, John, so I actually do have back-to-back appointments, or hey, John, I work by appointment only. I know you're home about 6. I actually don't have a 6 o'clock. I do have a 6:15 or a 6:45. Which one works better for you? Then he'll say whatever he says. So let's say I'm proceeding to book the appointment. Let's say he agrees to 6 o'clock. And I'll say, perfect, John. So just for a confirmation, I do have to have you write down my state license number. If you want to pull up your calendar app on your phone or grab a pen and paper, just let me know when you're ready for that number. He's going to say, okay, 1 second. So he's going to go grab his pen and paper or pull up his calendar app. Then I say, perfect. So my name, I want you to write this down, is Desiree Blas. I spell it out for them. My license number, which is going to be your confirmation number, is 123456. Did you get that down? Perfect. Go ahead and write down tomorrow's date, which is January 17th. And then, John, what time did we say again? Right? I know what time it is, but I just want to hear if he's listening. So you could sprinkle that in there if you want. And you could say, yeah, so what time did I say again, John? He's going to say, 6 o'clock. Perfect. So go ahead and lock me into your calendar. And then from there, depending on what you're using, most people don't really have like a Calendly app or anything. I do. So I might grab his email address so I could send him a Calendly link, which is free. Or if you don't have that, if he's single and he doesn't have a spouse, for me to confirm my appointment, because I like to cement my appointment, I'm going to ask for a beneficiary's name if he didn't give me one, right? So after I get that and he's writing down 6 o'clock or whatever he's putting in his calendar app, I'll say, hey, just for my file so I could update it. Now, John, if something did, God forbid, happen to you tomorrow, who would be the main person taking care of the home? He's going to say, oh, my mom or my sister or whoever. You put that in your notes. Now you have insurable interest to make sure that you're actually calling the appointment and they know it's about the mortgage protection. Sometimes when I am booking, and this is a little bit extensive so you could break it down, and I'll go forward with it so you could see it in real time. But after that, I might say, hey, just so we're on the same page, John, this is the type of coverage. If anything did happen to you, the mortgage is taken care of for your family. Now, did someone get that out to you? Or I'll say, is that something that's still important to you? So I might even clarify that before I cement the appointment, just so he knows we're not talking about PMI. We're not talking about homeowners insurance or car insurance or health insurance. He knows it's for the mortgage protection insurance. So for me, when I'm cementing my appointment, I want to get these points: a beneficiary's name if he does not have a spouse. Also, that he knows we're talking about mortgage protection. And then I might send him some kind of text reminder or Calendly link. That's how you book an appointment, whether they're single or married. Okay, so I'm going to go through the intro again one more time, and I'll do it as if there's a co-borrower or there's a spouse. Okay, so I'll go through the intro. Hey, John, hey, this is Desiree. A little while ago, maybe a few months now, it looks like you had completed some documents here just to protect the mortgage in the event of a death or disability. I'm just the state underwriter that's assigned to your file because it's still open on our end. My job is just to verify this information, get it closed out for you, okay? I'm seeing your loan amount is about $100,000. Does that sound about right? Okay, great. Now, the property address I do see here is 123 Main Street. Is that correct as well? Perfect. Now, John, I do see your co-borrower here is Mary. Is this a spouse or a family member? Now, obviously, if it's the spouse, we're going to go to the if married portion right here. And then I'll say perfect. So they do require me to speak to both of you to get this closed out. When are you and Mary both home from work? He's going to say, well, we're both home around 5 o'clock or 5:30. Let's say he says, oh, we're both home at 5:30. I'll say, perfect. Well, John, I actually don't have a 5:30. I do have a 5:45 or a 6:15. Which one works better for you and Mary? He's going to say 6:15. So then I proceed through the normal booking process. Remember, so I'm going to say, perfect. So 6:15, I'm going to add it here to my calendar. John, they do require that you write down my state license number as your confirmation number. Go ahead and grab a pen and paper or just pull up your calendar app on your phone. Let me know when you're ready. He says, perfect, I'm ready. Spell out my name, give them my license number. So say, hey, my name's Desiree Blas. My license number is 123456. Go ahead and write down tomorrow's date at 5:30. Or if it's today's date, you say, hey, go ahead and write down today's date. I'm going to give you a call at 5:30. Lock me into your calendar. And then also give Mary a heads up. I really don't want her to be alarmed when I call. So just let her know I'll be calling. Remember, this is for the mortgage protection insurance. And then I might explain what the coverage is just so we're on the same page. I don't want to be booking an appointment and they're confused about what we're talking about. So that's the way that I do it when booking the appointment. You're going to come across people who are single, or if they're married, or maybe they're family members on the loan, okay? So remember, if they're single, grab a beneficiary's name. Do not book that appointment without, get in the habit of grabbing a beneficiary's name so you have a solid appointment. And then 2, if they're married, make sure you know when they're gonna both be home. Send the link reminder or have them put it in their calendar, right, to prevent no-shows, because you will still get no-shows no matter how great you are at appointment setting. But for you, get in the habit of getting that beneficiary's name, having them put it in their calendar, finding out when they're going to be home from work, sounding busy. Hey, I don't have a 6, John. I do have a 6:15 or a 6:30. And then from there, those are all on here on the script when you're looking at the cementing tips, right? And if you have any questions, let us know. And then obviously, as you are, booking the appointment, remember, I like to verify what it is, and I'll describe it. I won't just say, hey, this is for the mortgage protection, John. I'll say, hey, this is the type of coverage, just so we're on the same page, that if anything did happen to you, the mortgage is taken care of for Mary, if there is a co-borrower. Or I'll say, just to make sure the mortgage is taken care of for your family. And that was something that was still important to you. Or I might even say, that's what we're going to be going over. Okay, so that is the conclusion of booking the appointment. Rewatch this over. Remember, casual tone, a curious tone, slowing down. If they're older, you don't want to speed through it. But if they're at work, you want to match their tone. So you'll get better and better as you go. You don't have to be perfect, but watching videos like this is going to get you on the right path to success. Just know that this is a game of law of large numbers, right? You want to keep getting better. Put the reps in, get better and better and better every day. Let us know if you have any questions. I hope it was helpful.